Hartford situation. We are accepting applications for the next course that we're offering that starts in September 2021, which is a 2-year part-time academic, and also the 3-summer elementary course begins in June 2022. Believe it or not, we are already accepting applications for that as people plan ahead. And I had mentioned MTCNE is in the middle of completing a feasibility study for the adolescent program. So if you have friends or colleagues that are interested in adolescent training, that will be offered in the future. So the courses that I just mentioned in the format, if you're interested in applying and obtaining your Montessori AMI diploma only, you would apply directly to the to the Montessori Training Center Northeast. So you would download our application, and it's found on our website at www.mtcne.org/admission. And then once you complete your application and supply the additional documents, such as your transcripts and references, you will complete a personal interview, which is done remotely via like a Zoom or a Skype. And the process typically takes about 3 weeks, 3 weeks to a month. If you are an international student, we suggest that you start the application no later than 3 months before the start of the course so that we can help you with your student visa processing. And if you're a non-native English speaker, the TOEFL scores are required, and I think 12 to 24 months is the span time, the length of time that the scores can be dated. We are currently, if you're an international student, alerting our students that at this particular time, although we don't issue visas, the new policies that have been put out by the Department of Homeland Security in the US about visa processing, it should not be affecting our students this time for the fall, because we are planning on meeting either in person or in a hybrid format. So visas should still be processed. We can't necessarily promise, though, that the timing, because many of the consulate offices in a variety of countries are still closed. But if you're interested in applying and you're an international student, please just contact me, and I will give you my contact at the end of the presentation, and we can help you work through that. The other programs that I'm going to speak to you about this evening are the University of Hartford degree programs. So in addition to your Montessori training in Hartford, that you can also combine that with higher ed coursework. And what sets the University of Hartford apart is that it's a uniquely diverse community that has what they call a local niche, but a global reach. Specifically, I would say local niche in Montessori, because Connecticut has a rich history in Montessori education, dating back to the mid 1900s, but also because the University of Hartford is situated in Hartford, boundaries between Hartford, the historic West End of Hartford, and Bloomfield. We currently have more than 5,000 undergraduates and about 1,700 graduate students, and it's a diverse campus. And if you can see, these are pictures of the main campus. Butterworth Hall and the Montessori Center for Montessori Studies is about a mile away or 2 miles from this main campus where Butterworth Hall is located. And the partnership between the university and the training center really has set the University of Hartford up to be one of the, I would say, top schools to receive a higher ed degree with Montessori focus. So a little bit of history about the Montessori Studies programs at the University of Hartford. In 2007, the partnership was formed between MTCNE and the university, and they offered their first master's degree in early childhood education, and shortly thereafter, an elementary degree, or excuse me, a degree with elementary education in Montessori was offered. So the programs actually started out as hybrid, and eventually all of the classes were moved online, and all the classes in above and beyond the Montessori training were then moved online. So the program is still considered hybrid, but the Montessori training is done in person, and all of the university coursework, which I'll go into in a little bit, is done online. So it's unique in that way. In 2010, their Montessori Studies Initiative was established, and that was between MTCNE and the University of Hartford. And that was to do some research, and it was to formalize that. And then in 2017, they formalized the MSI, which is the Montessori Studies Initiative, into the Center for Montessori Studies, and as well as later that fall, offered the first bachelor's degree program with Montessori concentration. So in the 2017 era, the partnership was awarded a grant from When Ventures to create the Center for Montessori Studies to house the undergraduate and graduate programs, research, development, practitioners with researchers all working together. So it's been an awesome experience to watch it all come together actually over the years. So the bachelor's degree program at the University of Hartford is the most recent program that's been offered. We're in our third year. Actually, we just completed our third year of the program, and there's two different pathways to enter as a bachelor's student. We have the Bachelors of Science degree and the Bachelors of Arts. The Bachelors of Science degree is a program that is designed for students that have not had are basically the traditional students that are graduating high school, or students that are a few years, several years out of high school that may have had one or two classes that they'd like to start a program. It is housed within the College of Education, Nursing, and Health Professions at the University of Hartford. And the program is a Bachelor's of Science, and the AMI training is embedded into the curriculum. So the credits here are between 138 and 141, depending on the area of focus, whether it's early childhood or elementary. But the programs can be done typically, well, they're full-time programs, but your training can be done either in a part-time or a full-time manner. And the trainings that I mentioned in the first section under the diploma programs are the exact trainings that our degree programs marry up with. So if you are a bachelor's student in your Montessori training, you could be training at the training center with other bachelor students, with people seeking their Montessori diploma only, and or master students. So it's a diverse actually learning community that you're in. And all of your observation and practice teaching components that are part of the Montessori training. You also have additional components, and it's all in one program that is designed to be completed within 4 years. And at the completion of the program, students will end up with a bachelor's degree in either early childhood education with a Montessori concentration, or a bachelor's degree in elementary education with a Montessori concentration. And this is a BS, a Bachelor's of Science. They will also have the AMI diploma at the particular level, which is an international passport, as we like to say, because this passport enables AMI diploma holders to teach anywhere in the world. This diploma is recognized. And in addition, they end up with a state teaching certification. So they, at the early childhood level, they would end up with teaching certificate number 113 or the elementary at number 305. So completing this program results in 3 credentials: your bachelor's degree, your AMI diploma, and your state teaching certification. So you will, students that complete this will be able to teach in public Montessori schools and actually non-Montessori schools. They will have the broadest certificate available to educators because of their studies. The second pathway at the University of Hartford for bachelor students is the Bachelors of Arts in University Studies with the Montessori concentration. This program is designed for students that have started a degree in the past and I did not complete it. So this is a completers program, and or if students have a large amount of credits, even associate's degrees, and they want to put that work towards a bachelor's degree, again, this would be the program for that individual. So we do accept a large transfer of credits. And I've seen students transfer in as many credits as needed, that the only remaining credits they needed to take was the Montessori training. So early on in the process, the application process, you go through your transcripts with your advisor or the admissions folks, and they will determine what credits can come in. And I've actually seen, courses from many years ago be accepted. So it's an awesome program for people that are had started years ago and are looking to come back to school and have an interest in becoming Montessori teachers in the classroom. So this program also has the AMI training embedded, and the credits are divvied up a little bit differently, but this program can be done either full-time or part-time. So individuals that are looking to go to school part-time as they continue with their current employment, or whatever your life situation is, we can make this program work for you. And all of your training is part of the program. There is a little bit more flexibility. There are some online courses. Because of the COVID pandemic, all programs have been affected, and this past spring, all classes were moved online at the University of Hartford. We are looking to the fall at a variety of options for classes, so there is some flexibility. There will be in-person classes, there will be online classes, and there will be hybrid classes offered at the University of Hartford. So if you're interested in this program, I urge you to submit an application and work with the admissions to see if they can work out a schedule that meets your needs. For both programs, actually, there's student assistance available, and I'll talk to the financial aid component in a moment. If you start the Bachelors of University Studies, you also end up with 3 credentials. You end up with a Bachelor's of University Studies with a Montessori concentration. You end up with your AMI diploma, which again is an international passport. You can teach anywhere globally. This program does recognize the assistance to infancy credentials, so that's the birth to 3. There's the primary diploma is recognized, and the elementary diploma. So you can do your coursework in either one of those areas. And you will also, at the end of the course, be eligible for the Connecticut State Teaching Endorsement at either the early childhood level or the elementary level. And so that would enable the person that applies for that endorsement to teach in public Montessori schools in the state of Connecticut. As with this endorsement and the general Connecticut State Teaching Certification, there is reciprocity in many other states. And so if you were to receive your certification in Connecticut and to move, you would work with the state that you were moving with to have your credentials recognized. So I know this because we've had master's students that have received their endorsements, their teaching endorsements, and worked in public schools and then have relocated. So it's an awesome opportunity if you're interested in working in public Montessori schools. This is just a slide to explain to you that the AMI training is actually embedded into the curriculum at the University of Hartford. Typically, if you are a student that is coming to the university to complete a bachelor's degree that you might have started somewhere else, or have an associate's that you want to roll into a bachelor's degree, your AMI training can be done at any time. Typically, I've had students come into this program and start their training the same semester. The Bachelors of Science program, it is designed so that students will start with their general education classes and some other electives before they do step into their training. So they have, they kind of can ease into the workload and kind of get used to college actually, and being an institution of higher ed. If you can see, as you can see on the slide, the options for the courses are the same that I mentioned before when I spoke to the Montessori Diploma programs. So if you were looking to do your training over the summer, the university considers that part-time. And if you were to do your training during an academic year, that would be considered full-time at the primary level, and it is considered part-time at the elementary level because you're meeting 3 days a week part-time in the evenings. And who should apply? Anyone truly interested in obtaining a degree, a bachelor's degree that enables them to teach and learn more about Montessori education. We're looking for individuals that are interested in completing and committed to completing their undergraduate degrees, but also that they have a thirst for social justice and quality education for children in the U.S. They have your credentials will enable you to work in both public and private Montessori institutions. The program costs, I do want to apologize, this slide is a little bit out of date, and I have the current full-time tuition for the Bachelors of Science, because that is truly the only full-time program unless you were doing the bus full-time. But the tuition, I believe now, is closer to $40,000, and that is that includes your full-time tuition, which includes your AMI training. I will say that the part-time tuition rate is, I think it's $508 a credit. If you have questions specifically to the pricing of the program, I urge you to just reach out to the admissions office and they can share more details about that, but it's also available on our website. There is financial aid available for bachelor's degrees. You would, if you're interested in that, you need to fill out the FAFSA. And additionally, the Montessori program at the University of Hartford offers a Montessori specific scholarship. And this is available to anyone that is anybody that meets the eligibility. There's a application process, I believe. You can find it on each of the web pages for the programs, and you would, I think you have to provide 3 references and an essay, and there is no interest, and it's there's no payments due back. It's a gift, and we have students that get part or all of their tuition paid for. So it's an amazing program. And as I mentioned earlier, we're in the 3rd year of a 5-year grant cycle. So there's a couple more years to offer these scholarships at the University of Hartford. In addition to your tuition, housing and meal plans are available on the university campus. And there's additional expenses related to your books and materials, the typical of any university. So you will be able to find the online application anywhere from the University of Hartford's website. The website is www.hartford.edu/Montessori will take you to the Montessori Studies landing page. If you scroll down to the bottom of any page, you'll see the Apply Now. If you hover over that, it turns red. For the undergraduates, you will have a choice of the UHeart application, which is the UHeart portal, or we're also on the Common App. You'll submit that application. There are directions for the BUS program, which is the program for people that are interested in completing a degree that they've already started, so transferring in credits. So there are some specific suggestions there, but all the applications will get you into the system, so we'll be able to contact you. Complete the FAFSA if you're interested in financial aid, and then if you're interested in scholarship, I would ask you to inquire directly with Dr. Paige Bray at bray@hartford.edu. That information is also available on the website on any of the Montessori landing pages. And she will be happy to talk to you about scholarship opportunities for the bachelor's program. And now I'm going to speak to you about the master's degrees. The master's degrees at the university is an online program. And as I had mentioned before, we offered the first degree back in 2007. There's two different degrees awarded. There's the Master's of Early Childhood Education with a Montessori concentration and the Master's of Elementary Education with a Montessori concentration. At the early childhood level, you can choose to, your primary training can be put towards the program, or assistance to infancy can be put towards the program. As you can see on the left, each program has different credits. The primary program is a 33 credit program. The A to I is a 30 graduate credit program, and the elementary, there's a little bit more coursework, so that's a 37 credit program. The additional classes actually for the elementary program do help students. They actually, the students that complete that program are eligible at the completion to apply for their Connecticut teaching endorsement at, I think it's 511, to teach in public Montessori schools. So if you're the primary level and you're interested in teaching in a public Montessori school, there's a couple of other credits that I can talk to people more specifically about outside of the 33 credits required to complete the program. The unique thing about this master's program is that we accept AMI diplomas from any AMI institution globally. The bachelor's program I just spoke about, you have to do your AMI training as part of the degree, which is done in Hartford on the University of Hartford's campus at the Montessori Training Center Northeast. But the master's degree, you can choose to do your Montessori training at the Montessori Training Center Northeast, which we would love. But you can also come to us after you have completed your diploma in another training center anywhere in the world and at any time in history. If you, and I'll talk about the requirements if you've completed your AMI diploma course longer than 5 years ago. All of the course requirements beyond your AMI training are done online. So this program is unique in the sense that we do have students or Montessorians that join this program from all over the globe. It's not uncommon to have students in courses that are in different time zones and with different backgrounds. It's a wonderful experience just in that regard from the geography standpoint. And in order to apply or to be accepted into this, well, once you're accepted into this program, your Montessori transcript translates into, so your AMI diploma though that coursework translates into university credits. So at the A to I level, your training translates into 9 university credits. Primary, your diploma translates into 15 university credits, and at the elementary level, your diploma translates into 16 university credits. What does this mean? If you look, for instance, the primary program, it's a 33 credit program. If I'm bringing in my 15 credits of Montessori, there's left 18 credits of work to do online at the University of Hartford. So those would be the university core credits. And the same would go for in the A to I program, you would bring in your 9 credits and take 21 additional university credits. And in elementary, you're taking 21 additional university credits on top of your AMI diploma. So people who should apply would be individuals that have a bachelor's degree. We do have international students, as I mentioned, apply. What I would suggest is if you're an international student looking to apply, that you should have, part of the process will be to have your undergraduate transcript verified and evaluated through WES or an institution similar to WES to ensure that your undergraduate studies equate to a 4-year degree in the United States. When you apply, if you've completed your AMI training, you're free to apply. And if you're currently enrolled in AMI training, we encourage you to apply. If your training occurred more than 5 years ago, then we just need documentation, or the university requests documentation of active practice within a Montessori setting within the last 10 years. And I will, on the request for your transcript, I will talk about in a moment, there's a spot for you to indicate where you have been employed if your diploma is more than 5 years old. And again, it's people that should apply should have a desire to continue in their growing in their Montessori understanding and their work in education, both in public and private communities. And they should be committed to completing this graduate degree and be able to do it with remote learning. I will say that the classes are run online and they're asynchronous. So your professor will set up the course, and depending on who your professor is and what course you're taking, you may meet with your professor once a week in office hours. Typically all professors offer multiple times throughout the week, especially if there's an international population, so that they can meet the needs of students. In the past, my experience has been that there was no synchronous learning except those opportunities to meet with your professor, or when you were assigned to do group projects, et cetera, where you would work one-on-one within your group on your own time. And the classes are, because the master's program is designed for working adults, the bulk of your work and assignments will be due on the weekends or just after a weekend, so that you have time to work on those assignments and to get through. It is manageable, and I would say to anybody that has done the AMI training before they're doing the degree, you're not going to have a problem keeping up with the workload. And I would also recommend for people that are interested in completing their training concurrently with their master's degree, which is done, you can apply to both programs at one time, that while you're actively training, you could potentially take a course or two, but I would suggest that the semester that you would be sitting for your oral and written exams, that you step back from the university coursework to focus on your diploma, because you cannot complete the master's degree without that diploma. So that should be your priority if you're doing the programs concurrently. So I'm sitting on the slide of program costs. The university, the master's degree is a per credit, or the fees are charged per credit. So the course, the current credit rate, I think the 580 is outdated. I think it's $609, and I apologize if the slide is out of date, but we just ended the fiscal year. So you would be charged per credit by class, or over the course of the program. The Montessori credits are your Montessori training that's been translated. So if you think back to what I was talking about, the primary diploma translates into 15 credits. So the price for those, or the fee for those credits at the university would be $1,500 at the partnership rate, and then the other 18 credits that you would be taking online would be charged at the current university rate, I think of between $580 and $600, somewhere in there. In order to transfer your Montessori credits into the University of Hartford, your training must be verified through the University Montessori Partner, which is the Montessori Training Center Northeast. And so if you go to the Training Center's website, during the admissions process, you will get the instructions. You'll go to the website, and if you are currently enrolled in your training while you are applying to the master's program, you would request a letter of attendance. And that is simply to verify that you are currently either going to be starting in September or in the future, or you're currently in the middle of a course, and that your trainer, there's good faith that you will complete that. There's a $100 fee for that if you've done your training, if you're enrolled in training outside of MTCNE. MTCNE students or alumni there's no charge for that. And once you complete your AMI diploma, to complete the master's degree, you need to transfer those credits in. So then you'll go back to you'll be instructed to request your transcript, your Montessori transcript, which is also found on the website. And at that point, your diploma is translated into university credits. And that gets submitted to the university after you've completed your training. If you are if you're applying to the Montessori program and you have an AMI diploma, you're going to skip the letter of attendance and you're going to go right for your transcript translation through the Montessori Training Center Northeast. That fee is $400. So you request that, they complete the translation, they create your transcript, and they send that to the university and you to complete your application. It's free for alumni of MTCNE. And I just want to point out that if you have started with the letter of attendance and then are coming back for your transcript, you are not going to pay, you'll pay $300. So the total for the letter and the transcript is $400. If you request the letter, it's $100. If you come back for your transcript, it's $300. So if you're outside of MTCNE, so you won't pay more than $400 for your Montessori transcript to transfer into the University of Hartford. The only additional fees for this master's program are any incidental books and materials that you might need to complete your courses online, and you will have a technology fee at the University of Hartford. Applying to the program is done online. Again, you'll go to any University of Hartford webpage, but if you go to hartford.edu/Montessori, you'll land on our Montessori Studies landing page. You can scroll down to the bottom, hover over the Apply Now, and click that. You'll want to make sure that you're looking for the graduate application, because this is a graduate program, and there's only one option under there. It's the UHeart portal. You have to apply directly to the university for this program. If you're applying to the University of Hartford and the Montessori Training Center Northeast, you have to apply to both institutions separately, but know that you can share documents between both institutions. So you would only need to request one set of transcripts, one set of references, write one letter, etc. And so we can share information that way at your request. And if you once you complete your University of Hartford application, if you're currently enrolled in the AMI diploma course, you're going to request a letter of attendance. And you'll find that at www.mtcne.org/masters. And if you're applying to the university and you've completed your diploma, you're going to go right for the transcript request on the www.mtcne.org/masters. If you're interested in financial aid, it is available. So I would suggest, well, it's important that you complete the FAFSA as soon as possible, and you can receive aid that way. Typically, graduate students must carry 6 credits a semester to be eligible for financial aid. And the way the master's program is designed is there are 3 semesters in a year. You can start the program at any one of those semesters, spring, summer, or fall. And we offer 2 courses per semester, 2 or 3 depending on the sequence. If you choose not to take a course in the fall, you have to wait till the following fall to, usually in normal situations, to the following fall to take that course. It's not offered every single semester, but it is offered the same time annually. And so you can at least take 2 of your 2 classes, which is 6 credits, to qualify for financial aid. Your Montessori training will be transferred in during your last semester at the University of Hartford. I believe that is the current policy. So you will not be charged for those credits until your final semester. And the program contact, Dr. Paige Bray, she's an associate professor in early childhood at the University of Hartford. She's the director of the Center for Montessori Studies, and she's the director of Montessori Studies in terms of, she's the advisor for all students studying Montessori education at the University of Hartford. She can be reached at bray@hartford.edu. For myself, I answer the MTCNE@hartford.edu email. I'd be happy to answer any questions, and to be quite honest, she usually forwards general questions to me. Our colleagues also, for the master's degree, we also work with Cap Ed at the University of Hartford, and they have their email address, if you're interested, is at online@hartford.edu. And then Tim Nee, he is the managing director of the Montessori Training Center Northeast, and he can be reached at tnee@crec.org. The 3 of us work together to support these partnerships, and we will be able to answer any questions if you email or call us. We'd be happy to. I also just want to point your attention to the left here. We do have an app designed for mobile devices. It's the Flyer School app. You can download it through the App Store, the Google app, I think it's the Google Play or the Apple App Store. You just search Flyer School and add Montessori Forward. That's our community out there. We have resources out there for people interested in learning, practitioners and parents alike interested in learning more about Montessori on their own. So it's a modern tool, a modern Montessori tool, if you will. There's more information about our programs out there. There's resources related to COVID. We have a COVID section. And we also publish once a quarter the Montessori Memo. This is a compilation of the most recent research from the prior quarter related to Montessori education or Montessori research in general, internationally, and additional topics as well. So that is published through the Flyer app, Montessori Forward, and it comes out on Twitter a quarter later. So if you're interested in any of that, I recommend that you check that out. And I'm now ready to answer any questions. So I thank you so much for spending the time listening to the information about these programs, and I'm happy to answer any questions. If there's something that I may have overlooked, please don't feel free to ask. We have about 6 minutes before the end of the session, but I'm happy to stay a little bit extra if we've got the questions. So,
can you hear us?
Hi, Asha. I'm responding to Asha. She's from the Caribbean, and we do have online options in the programs. If you could, it looks like actually that you have your bachelor's degree, so you're interested in the master's program. So the master's program is all online, and if you are seeking your AMI training, we would love to have you come to Hartford. If you are looking to train during an academic year, we have a primary course starting this fall, but we also have those 3 summer options. So if you want to share a little bit more information or email me directly, I'd be happy to help you for the AMI training. But you can, you will need to either have your AMI diploma and or be accepted into and enrolled in a AMI training program before you can complete your University of Hartford application. You can start the application, but before it can be completed, you have to show that you're in your connection to AMI training. All right, so Sarah, I see your question. I'm going to read it now. I'm going to just read the questions out loud, so I'm not sure if everybody can see them. But in the event that you can't all see them, the question is, I have my AMI diploma as well as her master's in elementary education through another state university. You have been told by the Connecticut State Department that you need 4 additional credits of reading courses in order to qualify for the elementary teaching endorsement. How would I go? So she would like to know how you obtain the reading courses through the University of Hartford. That's great. So Sarah, you can actually take up to 2 classes, I think 6 credits at the University of Hartford as a non-matriculated student. So I would recommend that you go on to the University of Hartford's Montessori landing page. So it's hartford.edu. I'll type it in here, hartford.edu/Montessori. You're going to go to the master's page, the program for the master's, and look at the course descriptions or the courses that are part of the master's program. I'm blanking on the name right now. It's not the course catalog, but you can also go to the course catalog. And you can see the codes and the titles of the courses. And I'd be happy to talk with you or connect you with Dr. Bray to determine exactly what courses you have and what courses you need so that you can complete them at the University of Hartford and then complete your state paperwork. So please check that out and then get in touch with me unless you want to call. Anyhow we can help, just let me know. Nicola is asking about credits, transferring credits in early childhood education from another institution into the master's degree. So that's a great question, Nicola. I believe, my understanding is the University of Hartford does, at the master's level, does accept transfers of credits into the program. I'm not sure if it's 3 or 6 at the master's level, but it's one of those 2. And their policy has recently changed because in the past, the master's program did not accept the transfer of credits because we were transferring in all of the Montessori credits. However, I believe there's been a policy change at the university, and I'm actually waiting on a response from the department chair to determine how many credits are available. So I don't have the exact answer, but I do believe they accept 3 to 6 credits. I will make a note to get back to you, Nicola, on that. And in fact, I'm happy to get back to all of you. And Bridget, there is financial aid available. There's financial aid available for the degree program at the University of Hartford, and you can access that aid once you have completed the FAFSA paperwork, which is done online. It's a government site, but you can access that through the University of Hartford's website. In addition, for the bachelor's degree program, there is specific Montessori scholarship available. So you can apply for that. And at the Montessori Training Center right now, there is a scholarship. It's offered through the organization AMI USA, and it's the Margaret Elizabeth Stevenson Fund. And every year in May, they award scholarships for students that are beginning training after May. So you could submit an application for next year. So if you submit the application and were awarded the scholarship, you could begin your training in May 2021 or thereafter. So that scholarship is available. And we are working on a scholarship fund at MTCNE, but that's still in process. And any regional or local scholarships that we become aware of at the training center, we do put on our website under financial aid. So it's under the menu item for the application. There's a financial aid page there specific to the training center. So hopefully that's helpful. And I would love to talk to you, Asha, about an AMI diploma program. The next program that we're accepting applications for starts in September. It's the primary diploma program for individuals looking to work with students aged 3 to 6. It's a wonderful program, and it's an academic year, so it will run from September until May, about May 20th next year. So if you're interested, I suggest you get the application on our website and submit that as soon as possible so we can get you through that process. And I see Elnara from Azerbaijan. I'm butchering that. It's beautiful. I can visualize it on the map. You're interested in the Masters of Education and you're interested in completing your elementary, and then you apply to the university. I think that's a great idea to start your training and then apply to the university after that. So yes, the question is, in order to study at MTCNE, if you need to do the 3 summers, you won't be able to start the elementary training until 2022. So unless you decide to apply to our 2-year part-time academic program that starts next September. But certainly, we would love to have you at the University of Hartford. We would love to have you at the Training Center and the University of Hartford, but if it makes more sense for you to start your training in the UK and then do your master's work at Hartford, that works as well. We also have had students that have applied to and been enrolled in the course that starts in the future. So you could apply to the Training Center, be accepted for next fall for the later course, and start your start your university coursework, and then come back and do your training. You just would not be you would not graduate from the university until your AMI diploma was completed. So you could apply to both of our institutions, start your university courses online first, and then come to Hartford for your training. Or you could do your training somewhere else for instance, in the United Kingdom, and then start at the University of Hartford. So I think it's up to you. We've had students do it either way. I would love to see you in Hartford for your AMI training. So Elnara, if you want some more guidance on this, please feel free to email me and I'd be happy to speak to you or answer any additional questions about the process that you would do that. All right, so Sarah, I see, great question. You're asking if the Praxis 2 is required for the Montessori teaching endorsement for public schools or to teach in a public Montessori school. I believe the answer is no. I don't, I'm not elementary trained, so I'm not sure if you're talking about the elementary level. I don't think you do. I know for sure at the primary level that you do not have to, because I was completing my certification many years ago, so I had all the paperwork and coursework, and I did not have to complete the Praxis test. Hi, Eric. Good to see you here this evening, friends. International financial aid for international students. You know, that's a great question. I don't know if international students can complete the FAFSA. That's a great question, and it's actually one that I've never had before, ironically. So I would suggest maybe going to the University of Hartford's webpage, and there's this international students site, and I will do some looking as well, and to see if I can connect you with someone from our international students department to see if there's aid for our international students. At this time, I don't know of any special grants or scholarships either. So I'm sorry. I don't think there is, but it might be a possibility. I would love you to say your country by name, Elnara. Let me see. If you can unmute yourself, I'm gonna unmute.
Welcome to the webinar. You have entered as an attendee in listen-only mode.
Do say your country. Oh.
Can you hear me?
You muted yourself again. And you're an international student.
Welcome to the webinar. You have entered as an attendee in listen-only mode.
You can only train in the summer, which is fine. Our elementary course is offered in the 3 summers, so you could apply to our elementary course. If you would like to start, the Montessori orientation for ages 6 to 12 is a certificate course. It's designed to be an introduction and overview of Montessori philosophy and theory, pedagogy, and it will then go into the specifics of supporting children ages 6 to 12 as an assistant or working with a trained Montessori guide. So whether you're an assistant or a parent will give you that insight. It will be a very nice way to give you some information about the AMI training prior to actually doing the training if you're going to wait until June 2022. It will not transfer, credits will not transfer in per se, but you will, it will not transfer into the university, but they won't even go towards your diploma program because they're at different levels. But we have many individuals who do the orientation first and then come back to get their diploma. through another course. Thank you so much for printing out the spelling of your country name. I'm so sorry I didn't say it correctly. You're very welcome, Sarah. Thank you so much for coming. All right, so I'm going to unmute you again.
Unmuted.
Hello,
You're
can you hear
unmuted
me?
now. I can, very, very clearly. How
Thank
do
you
see?
so much for the detailed explanation. It was really fantastic. We have got some teachers from every Lyceum here listening to you very attentively. And my country name is Azerbaijan. Azerbaijan.
Oh, it's beautiful.
It's Azerbaijan. It's near the Turkey,
Yeah.
Khazar, Caspian Sea. So just make a research and you will love it. Thank you so much for the opportunity to spell my country name.
Thank you so very much. Thank you for sharing that and helping me with the pronunciation. I've heard it before and I just couldn't make my mouth say it without the tutorial. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much, you too.
Did I answer all of your questions?
Yes, thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Have a good evening.
You too.
So I believe all of the questions that on our question bar have been answered. I will be
Muted.
to follow up with, let's see, Asha, Eric, I will follow up with you, and Nicola directly, and Sarah about the state teaching endorsement. If there's any other questions, please do email them to medmtcne@hartford.edu and I will answer them. Thank you so very much for coming, and I wish you a very happy evening or beginning of the day or middle of the night, wherever you are in the world. And thank you so much for seeking more information on the programs offered in partnership between the Montessori Training Center Northeast and the University of Hartford. Thank you and take care.